Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a full week of reading only romance. February is over, but I just felt like I hadn't read as much romance in the month of February, the month of love, as I had wanted to, and with having so many new releases that came from the library, I thought it would be the perfect time to read them all at the same time. I have 3 2026 release romances that I got to. First one I read was A Killer Kind of Romance, sort of a genre blend of a mystery and a romance. This one was Last First Kiss by Julian Winters, which is a first kiss like romance, going back to the person that you first kissed. The last one that I read was The Redo List by Denise Williams, which is a brother's best friend romance and looks to be the beginning of a series, possibly. Let's rewind to last week to get into the vlog. Good morning. Having a bit of a lie-in, but I need to go to the gym. I mostly want to go to the gym because I want to read my book. I started this yesterday and it's so much fun. It's another genre blend between mystery and horror this time. I just finished reading another a genre blend of horror and romance. How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates for the Literally Dead book club that I was co-hosting, and I had so much fun with that. I thought it was interesting that I ended up gravitating towards this to read first for this video. This is A Killer Kind of Romance by Letizia Lorini. It's following Scarlett, who is a podcast host for a crime fiction show. She does not do romance at all. She is like really good at this. Her father was a cop and her mother was a lawyer, so she loves crime fiction. But then someone in her small little town with just 5,000 people starts to reenact the murders that happen in the book that she is talking about on her podcast. Literally the day that the podcast airs, the same night, someone dies that same way, which is kind of crazy because like, how are they planning for that? But we'll come back to that. None of the cops believe her that she is... Sorry, I just woke up. None of the cops believe her that someone is reenacting it. They're not taking her seriously, so she decides to start her own investigation. This is where the romance comes into play. Her old neighbor, Raphael Gray, the resident bad boy, has recently come back to town. He is suspect number 1. This guy she's had a crush on since she was like 16 years old comes into town and he's like basically trying to woo her, and they're like slowly dating. They're dating, but they're not because she doesn't want to, and he's like so perfect. Something had happened when they were kids where she just feels like she shouldn't let this guy into her life for real. She is having fun while keeping him at arm's length a little bit until he becomes suspect number 1 and she is trying to clear his name. Or does she believe that he didn't do it? Last night alone, I started reading pretty late in bed, and I like went to bed past my bedtime because I wanted to keep reading my book, and I read 138 pages. It is so much fun. This book came out, I guess, last month or January. I haven't seen a lot of people reading it actually, so this is, oh my god, it's so cute, it's so fun. Raphael is handsome, okay? He's got a lot of tattoos, he wears silver jewelry, and Scarlett is like so content being alone. It's giving black cat and black cat romance. She had like a little bit of a difficult childhood. Her parents have passed away and her younger brother hates her. She is really just good surviving on her own with her black cat Sherlock. Raphael's really trying to woo her to convince her that like romance can be real, and she doesn't believe in it at all or doesn't want to. She is now transitioning into full-time podcast work, but she has to host a romance podcast and she does not like romance books at all. So she's like a really harsh critic, and her boss is like, girl, this ain't working. I need you to give me what you give the crime fiction books to romance. And the funny thing is that Raphael will go book shopping with her, and he picked out a romance book and was like, I really want you to read it. I made these little annotations to try to get you to enjoy it more. Please do that. See, men written by women are just so much better. I'm gonna brush my teeth and I'm gonna go to the gym. I finished this on the train ride home. I read so much today. I read over 300 pages of this, 4 sittings for this book. Honestly, for the first, 20-30% of this, I genuinely thought that this could be a 5-star read. Very amazing. And then by the time that I was on my commute to work and from home, I just like wasn't really feeling it anymore. First of all, we had 3 back-to-back sex scenes, which is like a lot back to back because that was all that we got. And then something about the twist at the very end wasn't really doing it for me, and it felt like the love interest and like the romance part of it started to feel really, really corny. Also because she's like 23 when this is happening, and the epilogue is like 3 years later. When the ending is going down and all... There's a lash in my eye. Oh, that hurt. It was one of my fake lashes, so I like needed it to come out. There was a point where in the ending that I cannot give away, obviously, but Scarlett just only wanted to be with Raphael, which I understand because the stakes were quite high, but like she also had other responsibilities to Ethan, especially the scene. I can't give it away, but I just didn't like that she was choosing this love interest over her own family, and I feel like her wanting to tell her how much she loved him in that moment, I like wasn't really feeling it, and I wasn't getting that urgency at all. That moment, a very like imminent scene of like the third twist or the third act, I guess, just like wasn't really urgent to me. The moment of why Scarlett was so mad at him and was really hesitant in wanting to forgive Raphael because he like lied to her wasn't really making sense to me either. So I'm giving this book 3.5 stars. Not a bad start. The first half really had me going. Yeah. Had high hopes for this one, but fortunately didn't quite make it to 5 stars. But I wanted to talk because last night I started Memory of a Killer. It's been on my queue for like a while. It's with Patrick Dempsey, and I finally started it. It's only 10 episodes and I've watched 4 already. It's really good. If you don't know what it's about, it looks like it's based off of a movie, maybe a German film, book, but it's an adaptation of a hitman who is starting to lose his memory, and he is very, very meticulous, keeps his hitman life and his like normal boring regular cover life very, very separate. His hitman life, he's like very sleek, all black, tailored suits. He drives a Porsche and lives in this like beautiful hotel-esque apartment, very much bachelor pad. And on the other hand, he lives in this little town upstate along the river, and he has a daughter. His wife passed away a few years ago. He is expecting a grandchild. He has this boring life traveling a lot to sell photocopiers, and now because of his memory loss, it looks like things are starting to blur a little bit for him. But not only that, it looks like someone is coming after his family who has found out about both lives. I don't know how he's been able to keep them separate for so long, but it is a very entertaining show. It's so interesting seeing Patrick Dempsey in this role. I don't really like the daughter. Something about the way that she like talks, but also it's just not believable to me that they're related. I hate her husband a lot more though. Jeff, oh my god, he pisses me off. But today I am going to be starting in with Last First Kiss by Julian Winters. I almost started the vlog with this book, but I had my hesitations because it low-key feels like a cheating trope. That's how they get together, and I like right off the bat really hate that. We'll see though. So Jordan is our main character. He had his first kiss with Jamie. They almost had another kiss the year before when Jamie made it clear that he wasn't the right man and he was still like figuring himself out. And so Jordan is now like fully focused on his career at his family's event planning company, and he's been ready to move on until he gets assigned to work on a new client's high-profile wedding, and turns out that the groom is Jamie. It looks like Jamie is still figuring things out. It seems like he doesn't really know if he's gay or like hasn't really come out yet, but they're doing like these steamy hookups as Jordan is planning Jamie's wedding, and I don't know if I like that. I think I'm gonna give this a try though, because clearly something about this was intriguing to me. I don't know if it was like the cover when I saw it. I have like a really big hesitations with this one, so let's say the expectations are incredibly low, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up another new release that just became available to me from the library. I have 2 other books that I possibly thought that I could read, but these are not new releases. This one came out in 2020, although this is on like my loose March TBR, and this one came out in 2024, I think. Look, because this is indie published, look how fucking dense this looks. Isn't that terrifying? This is a romance. What? God, like how long was this supposed to be? Because this is only like maybe 320 pages. Girl, why? Who did that? Who said okay to this? I read so much yesterday too. I'm really glad. I'm headed out right now though, so I thought it would be a good time to check in with where I left off. We're hooking up right now. Okay, we're right in the middle of the hookup scene. I was low-key like falling asleep on the train, then I was like, oh, we're hooking up, we gotta wake up. Because like literally when I woke back up and I like was starting to read the pages, I was like, sexy. Oh my gosh, literally. I read a lot, really decent amount. Storygraph tells me that I'm 47% of the way through. Amazing. Couldn't I finish this book today? I would like to, but I'm also reading another book for a different video. We'll see. I have tried looking this up on audio, but it just came out this year, so no luck with the library especially. I have to go to the other library to pick up the next book that I want to read for this. It means that I can just listen to more of my podcast, which is fine because I've really been on it with Good Hang with Amy Poehler. I love her. She's just so nice to listen to. She's so funny and she's just a really good host. Anyway, with this, I completely had the plot of this wrong. It's not cheating. This wording was really confusing. Bride's man of honor, like maid of honor. Why didn't they just say it's the bride's best man? Why? Jamie is the bride's best man. They're best friends, obviously, and what's his name? Jordan is planning this wedding for Jamie's friend Amy, the bride. Now, as the man of the I don't like saying man of honor. The best man, he is coming along for all of these like wedding tours, food tastings, which means that Jamie and Jordan are spending a lot of time together as well. Jamie is out, okay? He came out in like high school or something. He is pansexual. I think it's Jordan who has not come out yet, and his mom wants to keep setting him up with all these girls. He hasn't ever been with a guy before. He has only ever done that practice kiss with Jamie, and since then has really only been able to think about Jamie, or at least as like a guy. And now that they're in close proximity, he's like, oh my gosh, he's still so cute. What should I do? We're spending so much time together. This is hard. And now we're in the nitty gritty. We're hooking up. I would like for him to be able to come out to his family, especially with his mom setting him up with so many women. His mom has been telling him like, my psychic thinks that the love of your life is this girl who starts with the name J. And I'm like, girl, it's right in front of you. It's Jamie. But there is a enemy or like a rival at his job named Javi, which I think is funny. Obviously it's gonna be Jordan and Jamie, but I thought it was funny that like Javi was there. Jordan's mom has already tried to set up Javi with Jordan's cousin and best friend Denise, so maybe when he comes out she'll be like, oh my gosh, someone with a J, Javi. But Jamie's already really close with the family, because with like Jordan's entire family, because he's also best friends with Jordan's cousin Denz, so he's very involved. So far it's like just okay though. I'm like low-key a little bit invested in this wedding because I'm wedding planning too. It's such a time crunch because they have to plan the wedding in 3 months, which seems impossible, and this event planning business hasn't done weddings in a long time. They stopped doing it for many years, and this is the big comeback, so in a lot of ways it's a big deal. I was able to read a lot more on the train than I thought I would because I snagged a seat both ways, but so far this is not really doing it for me. I'm realizing that I'm not really invested in this romance at all. There isn't really a lot to know about Jamie because there's only one POV and it's all in Jordan's. I really do enjoy Jordan. I think he's phenomenal at his job. I really like the idea of his like whole family dynamic, the family empire that he's a part of, and they're all so successful, but I just like don't really see anything between Jamie and Jordan except for the fact that he was his first kiss. I really want there to be like a big thing telling his mom that he likes Jamie, or like that he doesn't only like women. We have met Jamie's awful bigoted parents, and it's awful. They really want Sloane, this really annoying girl, to be basically Jamie's beard, and they keep saying they want him to be happy, but anything that he does isn't the way a Peters behaves. Jamie's last name, Jamie Peters. There was a point where Jordan stood up for him and Jamie really hated that. He was like, why would you do something like that? And I hate that. I don't know. I am gonna finish it, but I'm feeling a 2 stars. I'm refilming my thoughts on Last Worst Kiss because I think I accidentally deleted the clip. I'm giving the book 2.5 stars. Like I said, I really liked Jordan individually as a character, but I didn't really see like a lot of the connection between him and Jamie, so I wasn't invested in their relationship at all. I really wish that the book was dual POV because I really would have appreciated getting to know Jamie a little little bit more. It didn't really seem to me like there was a lot to get to know about him because the whole book was only in Jordan's POV and there was so little to know about his background. And maybe I would have gotten to know a lot of the background because apparently this book is a series. It is a standalone series. That's the second book. The first book was about Den's, Jordan's cousin, Jamie's best friend. Maybe he would have come up more, but if it's going to be a standalone series, you should be able to get to know both characters within that book itself. So unfortunately, 2.5 stars. I haven't decided today if I want to just do this and do my bangs or wear a headband because then I don't have to like do anything. But I want to have my hair done today and I don't want the headband to mess it up. You don't care. Today, I'm going to be reading The Redo List by Denise Williams. I was able to pick this up at the library last week. This is actually a new week. I took a couple days off to film another video and read a different book. So I want to make sure that I'm reading like still 7 days. So the point is that I need to finish this book by tomorrow. Right now, I'm about to start chapter 13, almost 100 pages in, and this, like I said, possibly is a brother's best friend romance. Willow is pretty young. She experienced a lot of her firsts with her high school sweetheart, or technically like middle school. They've known each other since they've been dating since then, and she had a very public breakup and she wants to redo all of these important moments because she really thought that she was going to marry this guy. From what I understand, she is like early 20s, so like a little bit younger than me, and it is a 10-year age gap. Her brother has been deployed cruise and Willow is now in town in Iowa to dog sit, house sit, and to kind of like renovate her own room, which she thinks is Cruz's way of trying to get her to stay there because she had to like quickly move out of her apartment with her boyfriend, and her best friend has kindly agreed to like store her things. Now in comes Cruz's best friend Deacon, who has promised Cruz, his best friend, that he will look after his sister Willow, and in getting to know each other, Deacon is helping Willow with her Operation Redo, the redo list of all the firsts that she wants to take back, like her first dance and her first kiss, first orgasm. Obviously, in spending more time together in completing this list, a romance ensues. It is dual POV, which I appreciate. Willow is still a little bit sad about her ex, although he seems like a real shit. And at first, like, the book starts out with the public breakup. Like, she literally went viral because of how just embarrassing and bad it was, and it was. Her relationship with Spencer, her ex, like, clearly wasn't very fulfilling. And this is really interesting to me because Coda and I have also been together for such a long time. We've been each other's firsts for a lot of things, so this is gonna be really interesting to see like a different side of that not working out. I read so much yesterday because by some miracle I did not sleep at all on my commute, which is like insane. But then when I tried to read before bed, I crashed out because I thought I could finish this book. But I read over 200 pages yesterday. I have a little less than 100 pages left, like maybe 90 some pages left of this, which is amazing. So far it is a little bit steamy. They haven't really had like traditional sex yet. Okay, fun. They're checking a lot of things off of Willow's list. It's pretty good, but you could tell already like how much they mean to each other. But Willow does not plan to stay in Iowa. Deacon's plan is to be deployed again, to enlist again. He has not told her this. Like, she's making all these big plans for her future. She wants to go back to vet school, possibly. So she's away right now, back in Colorado with her best friend to go camping. Another thing to check off of her list. And they're still texting. They miss each other, obviously. I'm a little bit worried about what Cruz will say because like not only is this his like baby sister, there's a pretty decent age gap, which I feel like a big brother might really not like. But so far it is really cute, and I really like this journey that Willow's going on. She mentions her ex a lot, but Deacon at least is helping her to forget about him. Yesterday on my commute home, I did finish, wrong book, The Redo List by Denise Williams, and from what I could tell, I think this might be a little bit of like a standalone series. There was an excerpt for the next book following Sybil, who is a character within Deacon's friend group. I think I could read that. All in all, like, I didn't really care about the friend group, and I like low-key would forget who was who and like who he was living with, and he had like this weird dynamic with Emmy. But I'm glad that he had like people outside of the Air Force to be friends with, and that he was like finding also his people within like the veterans group at his college. I'm giving it 4 stars. I thought it was a really good, enjoyable time. Like, they were really cute. I also just like really liked the idea of Willow kind of being able to find herself within this relationship, or like outside of this whole relationship that had really defined her life. So yeah, that was my week of reading only romance books. I did already return a killer kind of romance, I realized, before I wanted to do the ending of this video. I had a really fun time with these. I read them all like fairly quickly, which I'm very impressed with myself for. If you have any new romances that you're like new release romances that are on your radar that should be on mine for 2026, let me know. And any 2026 romances that you have enjoyed this year, please give me the recommendations because I still have yet to find a 5-star read. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.